Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call this meeting to order. First order of business is the disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. D1 and 2 and E2, the Norton Street drain and the Kromzak petition.
Okay, thank you. Max?
Mr. Mayor. Agenda item D, brackets 2, Court of Revision for Simpson Drain Reassessment. Resolutions 7 to 10. The reason being the Simpson Drain runs through our property.
Okay, thank you, Max. So noted. The minutes from October 7th, was there any errors or omissions? Mover and seconder for those minutes then. Serna and Moore, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next, we have a quarter revision, so I need a mover and seconder. The Township, the Council of Malahide does hereby appoint the following members to sit on the quarter revision for the Candy Drain Branch number 4. Mayor Dave Mennel, Chair, Deputy Mayor Dominique Giguere, and Councillor Rick Serna. And the Deputy Mayor is not here yet, but she will be here shortly. But I don't think there's any issues with this one, so we'll go forward. Okay. So
I believe we do need to wait.
We need, through your worship, we need 3, so we can appoint another counselor, Councillor Lewis or Glinsky or Serna.
okay. Councillor Lewis, this is in your area. Are you willing? Yeah. Okay, so we'll fill that in with Lewis. So mover and seconder for that. Mover and Serna, all in favor? Carried. And this is for the members of the committee. Mover and seconder of the quarter revision for the Candy Drain be called to order at 7:32. That Dave Mann will be appointed chair. So just for those members on the committee, Serna and Lewis, all in favor? Carried. Okay, John Michael, can you give us an outline of the proposed work in drainage?
Sure, Your Worship. Tonight's meeting is the quarter revision for the Candy Drain Branch 4. This drain came about as a request for an outlet for a new development on Talbot Line. So the drain simply does that. It's 200 meters of pipe. We're providing an outlet to the Candy Drain so that development can proceed.
Thank you. Is there any comments or objections received?
Through your worship, there have been no written comments or objections received.
Okay. And is there anyone on wish to make comments? I don't see anything. So I need a mover and second of those on the committee. Mover and second of the quarter revision of members of the Candy Drain Branch number 4 to hereby accept the recommendations of drainage engineer J.M. Spreets Associates, and further does hereby confirm the drainage assessment as outlined in the report of the drainage engineer dated July 14th, 2021. Lewis and Serna, all in favor? Carried. And finally, the quarter revision of the Candy Drain Branch Norton be adjourned and council reconvene at 7:34. Serna and Lewis, all in favor? Carried. And finally, that the tender for the Candy Drain be awarded the due day excavation, the amount of $22,400, subject to the expiration of all appeal periods and subject to no appeals have been received related to Candy Drain Branch 4. And this can be anybody. Lewis and Glinsky, all in favor? Carried. Okay, all right. Is she on the second one? Yeah, okay. Dominique's just arrived, so we'll wait for her to come in on the second drain. Hi, Dominique. You're just in time because we need you on the second drain. This is the Simpson Drain, so I need a mover and seconder. The Council of the Township of Malahide does hereby appoint the following members to sit on the Court of Revision for the Simpson Drain reassessment. Mayor Dave Bennell, Chair, Deputy Mayor Dominique Giguere, and Councilor Rick Cerna. Mover and seconder for that. Lewis, Cerna, all in favor? Carried. And this is for the members on the committee. Mover and seconder of the Court of Revision for the Simpson Drain be reassessed to be called to order at 7:35. And that Dave Bennell will be appointed chair. Giguere and Cerna, all in favor? Carried. George, you're doing this one?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I'll start with a quick summary. We're here for the Court of Revision for the Simpson Drain reassessment tonight. This again was a reassessment of a very large channel that serves approximately 6,700 acres, including a village there. You know, the various reports that govern this design have been from 1909 to 2001. So obviously some of these schedules were over 100 years out of date, so they needed updating so that the township can properly assess any maintenance that's completed on these channels. And so we have this report before us to address those concerns.
Okay, thank you. Was there any objections received?
Through your worship, there has been no written objections or comments received.
Okay. Any questions from council members? Need a mover and seconder. The Court of Revision for the members of the Simpson Drain reassessment do hereby accept the recommendations. Drainage engineer G.A. Varican from Streets Associate. Further hereby confirm that drainage assessment as outlined in the report with the drainage engineer June 18th, 2021. Giguere and Cerna, all in favor? Carried. And finally, the mover and seconder, the Court of Revision relating to Simpson Drain reassessment be adjourned and council reconvene at 7:37. Mover and seconder, Giguere, Cerna, all in favor? Thank you, George.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Next, we have a public meeting. So we need a mover and seconder. The Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Malahide be called to order at 7:38. Mayor Dave Mann will be appointed chairperson of the Committee of Adjustment. This is, the applicant is Todd and Olivia Hayho, agent is Mike Wall, application number D13MV0821, property located at Part 22, Concession 1, known as 51263, Nova Scotia line, Geographic Township of Malahide. Adam, can you give us an overview, please? Did we not get a move in second? Oh, sorry. Lewis and Cerna, all in favor? Carried. We can get their Max and Mark back. Okay, go ahead, Adam. Give us an overview of the application.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The effect of the application will allow a new detached garage to be at a distance of approximately 3.9 meters or approximately 13 feet from the property's rear lot line and approximately 1.2 meters or approximately 4 feet from the property's westerly side lot line. And the size of the detached garage is proposed to be approximately 117 square meters or 30 feet by 42 feet in configuration. It's a previously severed property in the agricultural area, and the subject property is bounded by agricultural lands to the northeast and south and west. And those lands are also within the same ownership as the applicant. However, those lands are on a separate deed. I can advise that the Catfish Creek Conservation Authority has provided no objections to the application. My report does note that the lands are currently zoned incorrectly. I've experienced this before in other municipalities, and it can be easily rectified by the township in the new year through a housekeeping amendment. I'm of the opinion that the committee can confidently move forward with allowing the accessory building at this time and subject to approval of this minor variance, given we've seen no objections. It's my recommendation that the application be approved subject to two conditions. Firstly, that the owner applicant obtain a building permit and obtain occupancy of the proposed structure within 1 year of tonight's decision if it's approved. And secondly, that the CBO be satisfied that the design of the accessory structure does not include overhead doors facing the rear or westerly side lot line, and that the downspouts and roof leaders are not directed to the adjacent cultivated farmlands. So there's nothing else to add to my report, Mr. Chair, but if there's any questions from the committee, I can answer those.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Allison, was there any comments received from outside the agency and landowners?
Through your worship, other than correspondence from Catfish Creek Conservation Authority with no objections, there was nothing else received.
Okay, any questions from the committee? Seeing none. As recommended by staff, there was two conditions, so mover and seconder for that one, please. Jaguar and Lewis, all in favor? Carried. And mover and seconder of the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Malahide be adjourned and council reconvene at 7:42. Mover and seconder. Widner and Cerna, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have a rezoning application with Committee of Adjustment decision. Purpose of this meeting is to consider an application to change the rezoning from large lot agriculture A3 zone to A1. Applicant is Marilyn and John Seebach, agents David Rowe. Property located at lot 3435, concession 1, geographic township Malahide, be known as 53367 Nova Scotia line. So I need a mover and second of the public meeting concerning zoning bylaw amendment application of Marilyn John Seebach relating to the property located at lot 3435, concession 1, be called to order at 7:38. Mover and seconder, Moore and Cerna, all in favor? Carried. Allison, could you advise and confirm the method, date of notice for this meeting, please?
Through you, your worship, notice of the meeting was given in the prescribed manner by publication in the Elmer Express on September 29th and October 6th. In addition, affected property owners with 120 meters were sent a notice by prepaid first-class mail that was posted 20 days prior to the meeting.
Thank you. Adam, could you give us an overview?
Certainly. Council considered the associated severance application recently on July 8th and supported the application in order to allow 2 new farm parcels. The severance sketch is shown on page 46 of tonight's agenda, and a report photo representative of the parcel being rezoned is shown on page 48. I've noted in my report this evening that parcels within the large lot agricultural A3 zone are not intended to be further subdivided unless each parcel can maintain a minimum parcel area of 40 hectares or approximately 100 acres. However, given the configuration of the land subject to the severance and topological features associated, the 31.5 hectares or approximately 77.8 acres for this parcel is considered to be appropriate. So I'm supportive of the application. If there's any questions from council, I'm able to answer.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Questions for Council Adam on this application? Seeing none, mover and seconder, a public meeting concerning zoning bylaw amendment application of Marilyn John Seabach, relating to the property located at lot 34, 35, concession 1 be adjourned. Council reconvene at 7:45. Mover and seconder. Glinski and Jager, all in favor? Carried. And mover and seconder, report number DS 2144, entitled zoning bylaw amendment application of Marilyn John Seabach be received. That zoning bylaw amendment application number D14Z09-21, Marilyn John Seabach, relating to the property located at lot 34, 35, concession 1, being part 4, RPN 11R5475, known as 53367 Nova Scotia line, be approved for the reasons set out in this report. Lewis, Moore, all in favor? Carried. And finally, bylaw number 21-73, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw number 1822, insofar as it relates to the property owned by Marilyn John Seabach, relating to the property located at part lot 34, 35, concession 1, be given the first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed. Cerna and Glinski, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have a presentation from Warden Tom Marks and CAO Julie Gagnon. Are you there, Julie and Tom?
I'm here.
Hi, Julie.
There.
Good evening.
Hi, Tom.
Your
Welcome.
worship, good evening. Deputy Mayor Jager, good evening, rest of council. Nice to see everybody. Julie and I were wishing we could be there in person, but someday we will be back. Malahide Council, I want to thank you for inviting the County of Elgin to your meeting tonight to provide an update about county activities over the course of 2021 and to let you know about some of the exciting projects that are underway in Elgin. Cultivating a close working relationship with our local municipal partners is a top priority of County Council, and I hope to engage in open two-way communication regarding your council's priorities. The County of Elgin already partners with the Township of Malahide to provide seamless, efficient services to local residents, and we look forward to enhanced partnerships in the future. In 2020, Council completed both a strategic plan for 2020-22, as well as a service delivery review. Both the goals and priorities contained in this strategic plan, as well as recommendations from the service delivery review, have guided Elgin's actions over the past year. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to be a challenge for all municipalities. However, we've all become accustomed to navigating rapidly changing circumstances together as a team, ensuring a consistent and coordinated response across the county. In spite of the pandemic, Elgin County has had an extremely productive year. We have invested significantly in our critical infrastructure, begun a coordinated review of our official plan, engaged with the public with increased frequency using new and diverse methods, and begun the process of a digital transformation with a focus on rural connectivity. I will now turn the presentation over to our Chief Administrative Officer, Julie Gagnon, who will discuss each of these initiatives in more detail. Julie?
Thanks, Mr. Warden, and good evening, Your Worship and members of Malahide Council. Really pleased to be here tonight. Before I get started, Allison or Adam, is there any way of sharing the slide deck that we sent your way? If not, it's not a problem. Might just be easier to follow along.
Go ahead, Julie, you can share it now.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. My laptop is not working. I'm on an iPad, but if Allison or Adam, you had it. If not, I can just carry on.
We got it, Allison?
Do you have it?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
she can get it, Julie.
Okay, I'll just carry on, and if it comes up, that's great. So I'm really thrilled to be back to present to your council. As Warden Marks mentioned, it's been a while, and it would be great to be there in person. Nonetheless, we're thrilled to give you an update on, at a high level, of some of the county's activities and initiatives. Our programs are guided by Elgin County Council's 2020 to 2022 strategic plan and the recommendations from the service delivery review. To just provide you with a reminder and a high-level overview, the overarching priorities of Council's strategic plan are serving Elgin, to redesign how we respond to community need in a creative and sustainable way, growing Elgin. We want to continue to be the place where people want to live, work, and play, and investing in Elgin to make responsible financial decisions. In November 2020, Elgin received a report from Strategy Corp, and this was a service delivery review that had three primary focuses. One was reviewing and improving the county's human and community services with a particular focus on long-term care. As well, a priority within this service delivery review is examining and improving the county's internal operations. And this includes leveraging technology to resolve some of our remaining paper-based processes and doing some organizational adjustments and realignments to better serve our community. And the final priority for the service delivery review was to review, improve, and potentially expand upon some of our shared services that we have with our local municipal partners, as well as the City of St. Thomas. So in 2021, Council decided to focus their efforts on a review of legal services, human resources as a potential shared service, as well as a comprehensive review of the road maintenance agreement. So as is the case with all of Elgin's municipal partners, there's always a lot on the go. And I've tried to compile a list of some of our most exciting initiatives, including projects that are either completed or currently underway. So in terms of infrastructure, we're very excited to have completed a full structural, mechanical, and electrical rehabilitation of the King George Lift Bridge in Port Stanley. As well, we removed the temporary bridge in Port Bruce and reassigned it to replace the Mecp Bridge in Southwold. And that work is well underway in Southwold. We completed the Village of Rodney reconstruction in West Elgin, and we're currently in the process of developing a transportation master plan and hope to have that completed in the spring of 2022. We hired a senior engineering design and construction technologist to bring engineering design in-house. And a couple of our municipal partners have already benefited from having this service at the county, and we hope to extend this service to even more of our partner municipalities in the very near future. So something to look forward to there. Terrace Lodge redevelopment is on schedule and within budget so far, though it is early on in the project. We hope to have this project completed in 2023. So if you've driven by, the steel is in place and the project's really starting to take shape. In terms of planning and economic development, we are currently undertaking a 5-year review of our official plan, and we hope to have that finished sometime in the winter months, January, February of 2022. We hired a planning technician to take on the role of Secretary Treasurer of the Land Division Committee and enhanced the planning position to be a full-time professional planner. We're working with the Township of Southwold quite closely these days to facilitate the redevelopment of the former Ford Assembly plant in Talbotville, and we're working with Broccolini Real Estate Group there. Economic development, planning, and GIS at the county are working with our local municipal partners to develop a digitally mapped vacant land inventory. And this initiative has been very well received by our local municipal partners, many of whom have mentioned that this is something that's been long overdue. Economic development is participating in a Field to Forks campaign with CTV. So if you haven't seen these clips yet on the news, you're going to want to watch out for them. We have made it a priority to engage our community. So we have murals celebrating the history of transportation, and those will be going up, or some have already been installed in some municipal buildings across Elgin County. And this is thanks to a very generous request that we received from the Donna Vera Evans Bushel Estate. The Terrace Lodge Redevelopment Fundraising Committee has raised a remarkable $113,000 to date, and this campaign is slated to run for 3 years. We've launched a dedicated engagement site, and if you haven't checked it out yet, I encourage you to do so. It's www.engageelgin.ca. We've also gathered public opinions through multiple surveys over the past year and a bit, and that's related to the official plan, transportation master plan, connectivity, budget, seniors recreation, our response to COVID-19, you name it. And the response to those surveys has been great. We've partnered with local municipal partners to organize and promote activities related to the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. And we're very pleased to announce that the Elgin County Wardens Golf Tournament raised $20,000 in support of Elgin Middlesex United Way. We have also focused on technology and innovation. We recently hired a director of information technology services, and we're in the process of developing a digital transformation strategy in Elgin County. We have a very active connectivity committee, and they continue to work on solving Elgin's connectivity challenges. Council and the committee engaged a consultant to help gather information and come up with some recommendations. We expect that in the coming weeks, we'll receive some recommendations. As well, there's some funding programs that have recently been announced through Infrastructure Ontario that we will be watching very closely in terms of solving Elgin's connectivity challenges, something that was heightened during the peak of the pandemic. We have a digital services librarian who is focused on the increased use of virtual programming and materials for our Elgin County libraries. As well, in terms of some back of house initiatives, we have a new human capital management software, which will integrate scheduling, payroll, and other HR functions. As well, we've recently launched our first ever employee intranet. So this is something that will help us connect and engage with our 530 staff at the county across all different departments and services. So for partnerships, I mentioned previously that a review of the road maintenance agreement with our local municipal partners is currently underway. And we are in the process of exploring a formalized shared service agreement in the area of human resources. We're currently providing CEMC, or Community Emergency Management Coordinator services, to Southhold, Dutton Dunwich, and West Elgin, and temporarily to the Township of Malahide. We have been recognized and approved by the provincial government to be the regional fire training college for our area. We successfully completed 10 fire training courses in 2021, and we have a full slate of courses scheduled for 2022. Right now, we're planning for about 40 courses. We continue to work closely with our partner municipalities to provide a consistent and coordinated approach to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'd like to thank Adam for his support. We have been working, meeting weekly to ensure that we're streamlining services as much as possible across the county for our community. Our community safety and well-being plan was something that we planned jointly with the town of Elmer, the city of St. Thomas, and all of our constituent municipal partners. So we have 5 high-level priorities that have come from that plan, and we have an integration table that's overseeing a number of action tables that are doing work to address some of the issues brought forward in that community safety and well-being plan. As an extension of the community safety and well-being plan, and in partnership again with Elmer and St. Thomas, we are hosting a housing and homelessness forum on November the 10th. So if you haven't received the invitation yet, I'm sure you will soon, but that's something you won't want to miss. Warren Marks and I recently met with Mayor Mennel and Deputy Mayor Giguère, as well as your CAO, Adam, to discuss some local priorities. And we're very interested in hearing from your council. As a critical component to Elgin's success is certainly our collaboration with our local municipal partners. So I'll pass things back to Warden Marks to take it from here.
Thank you, Julie. I think Dominique and Dave would agree. We've been busy at the county. I think they'd agree we've got a very good, hardworking council. Lots of exciting things going on. But as Julie's mentioned, we are here. We'd like to answer any questions, any ideas. Like to know if you have a wish list, things like that. So we'll kind of open the floor and go ahead and ask questions. And as Julie said, we had a couple of great meetings with Adam. I think things are in good shape there at Malahide as well. So any questions, go ahead and ask us and we'll try and answer.
Okay, thank you, Julie and Tom, for the updates. Certainly it's exciting, especially with the Ford property that's been sitting idle for years and years. And finally, we're getting a lot of development there at breakneck speed and looking forward to the future for jobs in Elgin County. But I'll open it up to the floor if anyone have any questions or comments to either Julie or Tom about moving forward. Scott? Is your mic on, Scott? Is your green light on?
Yep, green light's on.
There you go.
There you go. Through your worship to Tom and Julie, thank you for your presentation. One of our concerns I hear of regularly is rural internet. Is there any window of anything happening in the near future? Because it's a daily event for me to hear about. Is there any insight on that by chance?
Well, I know that the internet committee is really working hard, and Julie, I don't know if there's anything you can share at this point in time.
Yes, certainly. Thank you, Your Worship, through you to Council. A program that we're watching very closely is a provincial program that's being administered through Infrastructure Ontario, where they have announced a $3 billion program to specifically target unserved and underserved areas in the province. So I expect we'll have more information with respect to this program to be able to share with our local municipal partners and with the Connectivity Committee and County Council in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. But this hopefully will dovetail with some of the recommendations coming from the work of IBI, the consultants that are investigating Elgin County's connectivity challenges specifically. So hopefully those two initiatives, we'll have information to share on both of those within a month, I would suggest.
Thank you, Julie. And just a comment, Scott, this has been brewing for about the last 3 years, and I think we're finally getting close to getting something for rural Malahide and rural Elgin County that does not have that connectivity. So hopefully it's coming in the near future. Any other questions or comments? Mark?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you to Julie and Tom. We've had a lot of problems with a lot of our intersections and maybe the county roads or whatever. I know Tom, I had you out Edgeware in 74 one time, and there's a problem there. We also have problems on 52 and 74 and 52 and 73 and 45 and 73. I don't know what the answer is. Is there some way they can be looked at better and quickly to maybe cure this problem? Because it seems like there's a lot of bad crashes lately. Thank you.
Maybe I can take a go at that, Mark. I agree with you. Come on over to Central Elgin. I think we have a few bad ones there. But the reality is most of those accidents are caused by people not paying attention. Certainly, I know our engineering will take a look at any incident and see if they can make an improvement. But normally, it's driver error. And I think maybe we need to stress that to people to slow down and take a look. It's frustrating being on our roads at times. I'm starting to talk like my dad, but I think it is a reality.
Just an additional comment, I know that the county staff is looking into the road needs study and examining those roads, especially with those intersections where there are problems. And we'll be bringing a report back in the new year on how to deal with them. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Julie and Tom, thank you sorry, Dominique?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a comment to thank the county for what I believe is an increase in communication and collaboration and shared services, and definitely an openness to two-way communications. We've made, as Malahide Council, over the last 3 years. I know we've made a number of requests related to road safety, and anything that could be addressed right away was addressed, and through a lot of collaborations. And I think the increase, even though sometimes I think we get the comments that we have so many surveys on the go, I think it's appreciated that there's an increased level of engagement and collaboration, and it seems a little bit more seamless. So that's really appreciated. The pace at which the county is working, sometimes even hard to keep up with, but it is, like I said, appreciated. So thank you, and thank you for being here this evening.
Okay, any other
Thank you
questions?
for those comments, Dominique. I agree with you, and we have some great staff. But I think we're appreciative of those comments.
Any other questions or comments for either Julie or Tom? Seeing none, Julie and Tom, thank you for your updates, and we certainly appreciate it. We've always had a great working relationship with the county and the township of Malahide, and I know we'll carry that on in the future. So thank you for the presentation tonight.
Appreciate your time tonight. Wish you for a good meeting tonight. And before I go, if I could, I'd put a shout out to Councillor Max Moore. Max and I spent a lot of good years on Kettle Creek Conservation, and nice to see you, Max. Would love to see you in person, but thanks for the welcome tonight, Council. Have a good meeting. Take care.
Take care. Good night. Mover and seconder, the presentation from the Elgin County Warden Tom Marks and CAO Julie Gagnon relating to the Elgin County Update 2021 be received. Galinsky and Widner, all in favor? Carried. Is Brad coming in person, or is he? Okay. He's online? He's online. Okay. Brad, are you there?
I am here.
There you go. Okay, you're next on the agenda, so you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Malahide Council, good evening, and thank you for having me this evening. I appreciate it. It's been a long road to get here, but I'm finally here. So if I could kindly get the ability to share my screen, that would be awesome.
Through your worship, Brad, you do have access if you, there you are.
Thank you.
You're good, Brad.
Appreciate it. All right, so again, good evening. So my name is Brad. I am the owner and founder of Uplink Communications. I'm actually just going to, switch my screen here to screen one, just so I'm looking at my camera. Come on, get over here. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So, like I said, I am the owner and founder of Uplink Communications. We've been in your neck of the woods for just under 4 years now. We're definitely the little guy. There's no two ways about it. However, we were started in Malahide. Our very first tower ever was at the corner of 74 and Lions Line. We were kind of catapulted into existence when good old Eastlink decided to shut down its wireless to the home with 30 days notice, and left a very lot of Malahide residents without any option whatsoever. Fast forward 4 years, and this is where we are today. We have approximately 30 communications towers online. Some of them we built ourselves, freestanding towers. Some of them, most of them, are courtesy of residents, farmers, people that want to help the community to see a better solution for everybody. So grain elevators, silos, et cetera, et cetera. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much of Malahide we actually do span. We are currently working on 2 towers more in the south. And most recently, we've started to deploy fiber to the home. So I've been watching the Malahide situation very, very closely over the past year and a half, including the RFP that went out with Adam's predecessor for a wireless assessment tower presentation sort of thing. And I can say that I don't believe that Community Fiber really knew what they were talking about in relations to Malahide's requirements. We've been very, very successful at deploying the universal minimum 50/10 and slightly lower to numerous areas in Malahide Township, giving people the ability to work from home, teach from home, and learn from home over the pandemic. Some very notable names that I'm sure you guys all will know will be Greg Fenty, the head of the Dairy Farmers Association for the area. He is not only a customer of ours, he is a tower site location of ours. So we erected a 100-foot tower on his property. Shackleton Auctions is a customer of ours. Thanks to our wireless technology, they are able to do their large outdoor auction this past summer without any hiccups or problems. We have worked with the township on smaller projects that are network related, such as the phone systems, some cell phone boosters, some other connectivity things. So we've worked with Graceview Enterprises. We work with Kettle Creek Conservation Authority, Silverthorne Landscape Supply, just to name some of the bigger entities in your area that we've worked with and helped with good connectivity. In fact, Warden Marks was presenting from his home tonight, and I know he'll be okay with me saying this. He's actually a customer of ours. He is on our wireless coming off of a tower over at Ferguson's Fancy Beans. Before us, he was with a competitor that's been in the area much longer than us, and he never had the hope of doing a webcast from his home. Thanks to us, he can now present to you guys this lovely evening. So that's kind of who we are and where we've come from. We've recently started, like I said, deploying fiber to the home. We have permits for Middlesex County, Allegan County, Central Allegan, and Thames Center. We are in negotiations with Adam, and I do have to say thank you very much, Adam. Adam has been, I feel bad for Adam. He's taken on a lot from when he took on the position, but he's done a really great job in working and finding a good solution that protects Malahide's interest, as well as allows us to expand into Malahide down the non-county roads to provide service to those people that would never have a chance to see it otherwise. So Adam, thank you very much. And to the rest of the staff at the township, I appreciate everybody's support and help. I know it's not been easy, but we were getting there, and we're, you know, ready to start running down some of the roads, which is great. So with that being said, I know you guys are looking for a solution for Malahide. You guys are in a really bad situation because there is a very, very, very old, it's almost an unwritten rule from the AM Telecom days that nobody else is coming into your territory. Eastlink now has a proprietary lock on the territory. One other company has been successful in petitioning the CRTC to get access. They offer one package and only one package on the cable internet. It's still Eastlink cable. It's still Eastlink copper that is degrading in the ground daily. And it's still the Eastlink technicians that have to come out and fix it. So is that really a viable solution for the township? I don't believe so. We are currently underway with deploying 100 premise fiber in New Sarum. It is already in the ground and set to start going live next week and being brought into people's homes. So what I would like to propose is kind of a, I don't want to call it a partnership, but it's about the only word I've got with the township. The township has some assets that would really help us in expanding to the residents faster and delivering the product that the residents need sooner. So our solution for Malahide is a hybrid solution. A lot of people will say that wireless is not an option. It's not the solution. I disagree. Everybody witnessed it tonight. Warden Marks was able to do a great Zoom call from his residence on our wireless service. Our wireless service is capable of streaming live auctions. It's allowed. The owner of Shackleton Auctions, Mike Shackleton, his wife is Mrs. Shackleton. I can't remember her first name, I apologize. She's a teacher at South Dorchester. She's my kid's teacher. She has been able to teach online from home thanks to our wireless internet. So yes, wireless is not the be all end all. It is not the solution, no, but it's a good solution and it's fast to deploy. So what we're recommending is a fiber and wireless mix. what we believe would be good or beneficial for both the township and us and the residents mainly is Cecil and the staff at the township had a great idea with some towers to get rid of the Eastlink fiber, get rid of that costly backbone that you guys could easily alleviate with wireless technology. So 2, maybe 3 towers on township property at township locations, covering the north side, maybe Lions Fire Hall or roads, definitely the South Roads Department. Right next to the South Roads Department is a very big tower that is not in great condition. It's very costly to be on, and it's very hard to get on because the company that operates it, Terrace, is not exactly the most pleasant to deal with. So those 2 areas, and maybe somewhere in Summers Corners if the township still has land. We, of course, are developing several other small POPs, what they call points of presence, 100-foot towers around the area. We have a 100-foot tower at Quaid Vin Winery that we personally put up ourselves. That's one of many. Between our towers, we're starting to plan and run fiber so that when we get fiber to the tower, all of a sudden we can exceed the 50-10. So instead of 50-10, maybe it's 75-10, maybe it's 100-10. Today's wireless technology is capable of 1 gig symmetrical, so 1 gig up and down. There's no reason for 100 to the subscriber. Connecting all of the homes along the path between our towers. And one big thing that would be of a great benefit to expedite our expansion to the residents would be using township sites as co-location points. And what that means is a great example would be the Lions Fire Hall. The Lions Fire Hall has a giant basement in it that has a lot of unused territory, a small communications rack there where we could run fiber into the building. And from that point, run fiber out to the premise, run fiber to the tower, whatever it may be. It's somewhere to safely store the equipment, store bigger equipment, electricity needs such as that, stuff like that, that the township could rent to us in order for us to cover that territory quicker. I kind of went over this. All of our packages are unlimited. We don't believe in gouging our customers. We don't believe in overage fees. We actually do have TV as well. We have CTV London. That's a huge one for everybody. Everybody likes the local London news. Not sure why. Kitchener News is better in my opinion, but hey, we do have a great TV selection. It is all on the up and up. It's got PVR capabilities. It's got, you know, the AMC history, lots of great channels. Another big thing is I've invested a lot of money to help the residents of Malahide by being able to port Eastlink numbers. So we can actually take any Eastlink analog line and convert it to VoIP. Take that $90 analog line that it's the only choice they've ever had, and give them a $25 unlimited North America plan. So kind of, again, back to what our speeds and services are looking like. Our wireless has up to 50 megs. Our fiber to the home will be up to 150 megs. Fiber service in more built up areas would be 250 megs. Where we are, I've already shown you the wireless. I'll kind of show you our fiber plans. So as of right now, so our office is located in Belmont. Our main towers are in Belmont. Our fiber is in Belmont. There is our new Severance project where we've found a fiber along Belmont Road from Rogers. We have the wholesale agreement to tap into it, and we are almost ready to light up 100 homes in New Sarum with fiber to the home. Scroll out here. Kings Mill is already completely planned. We've got all up in house to do it. Gladstone is already under construction. Harrietsville, Avon will eventually go up to Mossley. And then you can see some of the other colored road areas that we're looking at in the next 2 years. We've recently were able to come to an agreement with the county to plow down the side of the road as opposed to fully directional drilling, again, allowing us to expedite our expansion of fiber to the home. So that's kind of where we're at and where we're going. What we'll do, if we can come to an agreement or an understanding with the township, we're prepared to connect all of the township sites with good, high quality fiber. Stuff like SCADA, where it's a little out there, maybe it'll be a wireless, but it'll be better than what you guys got. It'd be free. So potentially, based on the other RFPs I've seen and the other information I've been privy to because of those RFPs, the township could potentially save 30,000 plus yearly through a partnership with us. Provide fiber on the main roads in all the township. Like I said, we've got a really good rapport with the county. We've got a lot of permitted stuff already with the county. We want to just give residents a choice. Where Eastlink is the only game in town, we want to give them something that has nothing to do with Eastlink as far as you can throw it, and give them a local support mechanism, which is our team here in Belmont. Where it's not feasible to do fiber, you know, a 10-kilometer side road that has 10 homes, fiber is not feasible, but a good wireless solution is. One thing we do, and it's kind of just our little kickback to the community, anytime we come across a church or an not-for-profit, we give them free service. Most notably, there's the Springfield Baptist Church on the north side of town. They were stuck at a DSL connection of 2 megs. We recently gave them 25 megs up and down for free for life. Nothing asked in return, just simply they were in a need. They wanted to broadcast their services. We said, sure, here you guys go. There's a church here in Belmont. I think it's the United Church. There's a church on Yarmouth Center Road. We provide both of them free internet services as well. How the township can help us, help the residents, reduced or no fees for right-of-way usage. Some of these fees can get a little costly. $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 here, $3,000 there, $4,000 there. That all adds up in what we can provide fiber to the residents. Access to land for towers. Again, the South Road's a huge one. If we could get a good tower there. The Malahide Community Place would be another good one. Maybe Summers Corners if you guys still have something there. As Julie and Tom had mentioned, there is some funding coming up. I know that the township was trying to get ICON funding with the previous RFP as it was part of the package and discussions. I don't believe that you guys were able to achieve any of that. I could be wrong. A private-public partnership. I know that there's a lot of those out there, most notably Chatham Kent and TechSavvy. There was a rather big private partnership with a company called Norfolk. They had parted ways. I'm not sure the complete details, but Haldom and Norfolk had went to Quick, another small local ISP, primarily wireless like ourselves, had struck a deal privately and said, hey guys, you know, we want to get internet to our residents. Nobody else is coming in. What can we do to do this? We know you're in the area. So something along those lines would be great to have a conversation with you guys. This is a big one. Easier, faster access to the built up areas like Springfield and Lyons. I know there's already good Eastlink internet there. Well, there's supposed to be anyways. But a lot of these places have called us looking for a solution because Eastlink, their support's not the greatest, sadly. It's because they have no technicians left in the area. People want, you know, another solution. And if we could get into these areas, those areas would be a key funding mechanism for us to reinvest to the side roads of York and Wilson Line and further down Lyons and Pigram Road. Those roads where it wouldn't make sense otherwise. We would take the money from the built up areas, give those built up areas a choice other than Eastlink, fiber being better than copper, and take that money and put it into the lower density areas. So that's something we need to look at along with the township. Our commitment to Malahide, we are the only registered ISP based in Elgin County. We're from Elgin County. We live in Elgin County. We work in Elgin County. We will always keep our offices and services here. We support local groups and sports teams, not-for-profits. We fund two different, we sponsor two different little soccer teams. Anytime there's a community event, we are always there to help. South Dorchester Public School has something called a caring cupboard, where if enough snacks or they need their utensils for lunch, we donate $100 a year to that. Like I said, the churches, any church we come across, we offer them free service. You know, they're trying to do something good for the community, and we want to help any way we can. We promise to continually reinvest every dollar we make into our network. We employ people in the area. We are from the area. Started in Malahide, like I said, our very first tower ever was Lions in 74. Our very second tower was Crosley Hunter, and it kind of went out from there. So we are here to provide a gap. We are more nimble than the big guys. And if you guys say, hey, we really, really want you to go down line from here to here, there's not a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, and penny pinching saying, well, I don't know, there's only 10 homes, does it really make sense? We're going to be like, okay, council, you want us to go down there? As soon as we're done this, we'll have enough funding, we'll go down there. Oh, hey, there's this section of Mount Salem that's supposed to have this, but it doesn't. Okay, council, no problem. You want us to go down there? We'll turn our attention there. That's what makes us a great partner to the township, is that we're nimble, we're willing to listen, and we can deploy faster than any big company because we don't have the same bureaucracy and red tape that they do. That's about it. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Brad. What we do have in common is that you and this council certainly wants to have more connectivity within the township of Malahide. So certainly, I appreciate your report. We are also kind of dovetailing with the county on connectivity as well, but we're looking for something that's going to improve the connectivity in Malahide in 2022. So I'll open it up to the floor. Does anyone have any questions for Brad on this presentation? Seeing none, Brad, thank you for your presentation, and we will, Cecil and you and this council will be in touch constantly, and hopefully we can move forward. So thank you for your presentation.
Guys. Have a good night.
Mover and second, the presentation of Brad Musso relating to the internet solution proposal be received. So mover and second for that. Moore and Serna, all in favor? Jeff, Emergency Services. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much for the welcome. I have nothing further to add to the report that's been submitted. And we'll look for any questions if anybody has any.
Thanks, Jeff. Questions for Jeff on his report? Mark?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, through to Jeff. You can't get off that easy, sorry. You had a chance to get acquainted with everybody and look at all the equipment and everything. Do you have anything on a wish list or anything you'd like to see or change, or?
At this time, we have nothing that we're drastically changing from our path we already had. We have been working well with the county as they're giving the report there today that with that training program with the county. And it's been working very well so far. So hopefully it will gain some more momentum for next year and it really adds to the township's training ability.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Any other questions for Jeff? None. Mover and seconder, report number F2113 entitled Emergency Services Activity Report, September be received. Linsky and Lewis, all in favor? Carried. Bob, you've got the next one on the next drain?
Yes, Your Worship. Good evening, Your Worship, members of council. I have two petitions for drainage tonight, two separate reports. The first one is a petition for drainage on Norton Street in the village of Orwell, or the hamlet of Orwell, I believe. As the council is aware, Public Works have identified an area at the end of Norton Street that was having some drainage issues. There's no municipal drains in the area that can be utilized to solve the issue there now. So this is to present the petition for drainage and to appoint an engineer to look at the situation. We're recommending that we appoint George Varican of Spreed Associates to address this petition. And I believe this is the first time we've appointed George of Spreeds to do this. So he's up and coming, and this is his first petition from us.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Questions for Bob on the Norton Street drain? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number PW 2151 entitled Petition for Drainage Norton Street be received. That George Varican, professional engineer of Spreets Associates, be appointed to prepare an engineer's report for the Norton Street petition. Blinsky and Serna, all in favor? And the Chromozak drain?
Right. So the township has received a petition from a Hank Kromzak, who has a piece of property on the south side of Pressy Line, approximately where it intersects with Pigram Road. He has some drainage issues there he would like to resolve. The estimated length of this project is around 250 meters. I'm not sure, 100% sure on that number. It could be more. There's different directions he can go there with the drain. So sketch is attached showing the location of the property. And we are recommending that Mike DeVos of Spreed Associates be appointed to prepare a report to address this petition.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Questions for Bob on the Chromozak petition? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number PW 2155 entitled Petition for Drainage Chromozak petition be received. That Mike DeVos, professional engineer of Spreets Associate, be appointed to prepare an engineer's report for this petition. Mover and seconder. Serna and Jaguar, all in favor? Carried. Okay, who's doing the water report? Sam. Sam?
Good evening, Your
Sam.
Worship and members of council. Tonight I have the subject of the report brought to council this evening is the summary of the Malahide Water Distribution System 2021 MECP inspection. So this year on July 28th, the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks conducted the required annual inspection of the Malahide Water Distribution System. The primary focus of this inspection is to confirm compliance with applicable legislation, as well as evaluating conformance with ministry drinking water policies and guidelines during the inspection period. The MECP uses a rigorous scoring system for the municipal water systems in Ontario. And this scoring is based on a risk rating methodology, where the primary goal of scoring the system is to encourage municipalities across Ontario to improve their systems and establish a way to measure their improvements based on previous inspection scorings. And I'm happy to report for this inspection period that the Malahide water system did receive a mark of 100%. There were no non-compliances with regulatory requirements identified during the inspection period, and there were no best management practices made at the time. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that council have.
Thank you, Sam. It's hard to improve on that one. Questions for council to Sam on the water? Oh, well done. Mover and second, report number PW 2152 entitled Malahide Water Distribution System 2021 MECP final inspection report be received. Blinsky and Widner, all in favor? Carried. And who's doing this? Are you doing the sidewalks?
If Ryan isn't online, I certainly can. Okay, yeah, I will cover that for Ryan. So Ryan's put together this report. If there's any questions from council, I will try my best to answer them.
Okay. Questions for Adam on the sidewalk? Straightforward. Seeing none, report number PW 2153 entitled Contract Award 2021 to 2024 Community Facilities Municipal Sidewalk Winter Maintenance be received. Lewis, Moore, all in favor? We're into severances. Yeah. You can do the next severance on the Goodhue.
Thank you, Your Worship. So council's seen this application before. It went to the Land Division Committee, and the Land Division Committee thought that they were maybe trying to sever a parcel on the large side of what is permitted or desired under the County of Elgin official plan. So it was denied and sent back for a revision. From Malahide's perspective, there's really nothing changing. The parcel being severed as a surplus farm dwelling lot is going to be a bit smaller, but as our conditions as we applied earlier this year are no different than what would be applied to this revised severance application.
Thank you, Adam. Questions for Adam? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number DS 2133 entitled Revised Application for Consent to Sever of Margaret Goodhue be received. Widner, Lewis, all in favor? Next severance is Anna and Isaac Giesreck.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is a severance for a new residential lot in Copenhagen. It's on Nova Scotia line. The severance sketch is on page 140. The property has a dwelling on the easterly side and a pack barn on the westerly side. They're looking to sever that new lot that would be on the westerly side where the barn is. They're looking to convert the barn to a residence, which is totally appropriate if it's done in accordance with the building code. We do want to ensure that that either happens or the barn is demolished. So I have in my staff report provided 3 added conditions. One is that we enter into a development agreement with the proponents as a condition of the severance to ensure that this conversion either takes place or the barn gets removed. As well, if we look at the severance sketch, there's an existing asphalt driveway that would cross across the proposed new lot line. I'm recommending that asphalt driveway be dealt with through the severance. And then finally, that the location of the septic system serving the existing house on the retained parcel is in accordance with the building code with proximity to lot lines. So if there's nothing further to add than those 3 conditions, it's a bit unique. We don't typically deal with these, especially the conversion of a barn to a residence. But if there's any questions or concerns, I can try to answer them for you.
Thank you, Adam. Questions for Adam on this application? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number DS 21-45 entitled Application for Consent to Sever of Anna and Isaac Giesreck be received, and there was 11 conditions. Lewis and Jaguar, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have an application by Carroll's. Adam?
Thank you, Your Worship. So this report was put together by our planning consultants, Monteith Brown. So I will be presenting their report on their behalf. This deals with the former rail allowance that is on the westerly side of Springfield Road in Springfield. The applicant is looking to sever off an industrial parcel towards the easterly end of it, which has frontage on Springfield Road. There is another proposed severance, a second severance, which would be a lot addition. The proponents have deferred that application. If we were to look at the report photo on page, bear with me here, on page 159, the consultants are requesting that this application, the entirety of the proposal, be deferred so that the township can potentially iron out some negotiations with regards to, there's some existing road allowances that would be key future connections north-south from the north side of the rail allowance to the south side. One of those streets is Omami Street, and there's a couple other streets, I can't recall the name, but we're recommending that the application be deferred based on the information provided in the Monteith Brown planning report.
Thank you, Adam. Questions for Adam on this report? Max?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a report here in regards to that property back in January 2010 that may be of interest to you, Adam.
Okay, thank you, Max. The staff is recommending they defer this because there's some road allowances that have to be dealt with going forward. Any other questions for Adam? So mover and seconder, report number DS21 entitled Application for Consent of Civic Planning and Solution by David Rowe on behalf of 1817711 Ontario Inc., Bob and Suzanne Carroll, be deferred. Moore, Jaguar, all in favor? Carried. All right, Allison, you're on deck with the alternative voting method.
Thank you. Through your worship, in 2018, 91% of Canadians used the internet and 88% had a smartphone. These numbers, since we've endured a global pandemic, are likely only growing as the shift of how we do business continues to change. We have seen a shift to how residents are submitting applications, paying bills, making inquiries, etc. They are choosing to do so by online methods and making a phone call instead of coming to see us. Malahide is already familiar with having alternative voting methods as we continually shift to online resources in our daily lives. The shift in voting methods seems natural. As you read in the report, the shift to alternative voting continues throughout the province and an increasing presence in online voting continues. There are other local Elgin, Oxford, and Middlesex County municipalities that are continuing to use this e-vote method again for their 2022 elections. I've spoken with a few of the clerks from these municipalities and they speak highly of the process, its integrity, and the success they've had for those as clerks, those as for candidates, and for the electors. E-voting provides convenience and flexibility to electors when people are continuing to navigate a busy schedule, as voters can vote anytime, anywhere, anyway. Votes may be cast on mobile devices, home computers, tablets, by telephone, or at kiosk locations. There are potentially 3 methods of voting. The internet, phone, kiosk, which provides a feeling of a traditional station. It saves the voter time as it can be done in a matter of minutes. This could lead to a potential increase in voter turnout as it gives multiple voting options and provides the tools required to easily cast your vote. It provides the opportunity to re-engage voters by offering more convenient methods that they have come to expect in all areas of daily life. There are other factors, of course, that affect voter turnout, like having a heated race of acclamations. As detailed in the report, there are many examples that provide assurance that e-voting is a secure, reliable, accessible, and cost-effective method that would make it a superior option for the next municipal election. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Allison. And certainly, Deputy Mayor Jaguar and I sat down with Allison and she convinced us that this method is not only cheaper, it's more efficient, and it will be more convenient for our ratepayers. So, you know, you have the option of the internet or phone, or if you don't have either one of those, that option is still to come into the township office, and actually they can steer you through the voting method. So, Max?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It says internet/telephone. Does that also include the landline telephone? Or does that have to be an iPhone or something?
Through your worship, yes, it can be your home phone, can be used for voting.
Thank you, because I know some older folks in the area, myself included, but we have other alternatives too, but I know there's others that do it on the telephone. Thank you.
Chester? Well, it's not just restricted to voting day. How long is the?
Yeah,
the-
so
the
through
period?
your worship, so with this process, they would be given actually 7 to 10 days prior to the actual voting day, so October 24th, 7 to 10 days prior to that, to be able to connect either with home phone, through, yes, your home internet, but also if you have data on your phone, you can use that as well. Or you could come in, if you were having any issues, go to a Wi-Fi connection or a hotspot, or come into a kiosk at the office, or hopefully one set up here at MCP where you can use that internet source as well.
Okay. Any other questions for Allison? Mark?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, through to Allison. I see you've estimated the cost if we went back to vote by mail at 74,000. I thought last time we were in the 35,000 range, is that right? Like, why double?
Through your worship, you are correct. So the cost breakdown of that is largely based on the need for additional staff members. Since the last election, we have had a CAO clerk who has retired and a deputy clerk who will be retiring. So it will be myself running that election, and it's not that the workload is doubled, it's just that the staff required to do that work will be lacking in that area, as well as the services of tabulators. And obtaining them, the quotes are a lot higher than they were 4 years ago at this point.
Okay, another question if I could.
Go ahead, Mark.
I guess I've never been led through what this would actually look like. Okay, I call in, is it press 1 for this, or 2 for this, or 3 for this? Then what if you screw up? What do you do, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Tell me.
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you do use the call-in method, you have to enter a PIN as well as your date of birth in the system, and it'll verify that it's you calling. And then it'll give you the ward and what races are actually races or acclamations and what's yours to be in. Say if there was 2 people running for the ward, it would say press 1 for John Smith, push 2 for Adam Smith. And then if you push 1 for John Smith, it'll say you have chosen John Smith. Is this the person that you have chosen? And if it is the person you chose, then you push confirm, and then it's been confirmed. If for any reason you have technical difficulties through the step, if you get your ward councillor done but not your mayor, or vice versa, or you lose connection, it'll only save what has been confirmed. So you can re-log in with that PIN as many times as you need to until you have all the races that you are allowed to be voting for completed. And the internet is the same thing. If you choose that you're doing it by phone and you'd rather not like the process and you want to do online, you can certainly switch back and forth. If you know for sure you want to vote who you want to vote for mayor, but you haven't decided that on your councillor yet, you can sign in later and do that.
Okay. How long is the PIN number? That's the most frustrating thing people come with.
I'm not sure. I think it's around 4 digits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Through you, Your Worship, I may also add that Councillor Winter, you spoke about mistakes on the vote. Those same mistakes could happen at the ballot box option or through the vote by mail. So this is largely no different. There is a obligation for voters to pay attention to the instructions in the information package and vote accordingly. But those same errors or mistakes could happen in any type of voting method.
Right, but there is a certain group, and it can be any age, that are a little bit afraid of doing anything over the phone. And we have to be aware of that, so.
But just a comment, our neighbors, Aylmer, Middlesex, a number of other surrounding municipalities have adopted this and have found out it worked very, very well.
Elmer did it?
Yeah. Rick?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The last election that Elmer had was a telephone one, and I had to go in and help my mom do it. And as long as you can keep her quiet and hear what they're saying to you, you're okay. It's quite simple. So that's.
Then she lost her privacy.
What's that?
She lost her privacy with you having to help her. That's one of the.
Well, she can't see, so.
I know. How do you handle that, right?
Right, you don't, you just do it that way. But it was quite a simple method.
Any other questions for Allison? Recommendation by staff, report number clerk 21-04 entitled Alternative Voting Methods 2022 Municipal Election be received. And so a mover and seconder for this new method of voting. Moved by Lewis, second by Sarno. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next, we have committees and outside boards. We have the Long Point and the Police Services. Any questions or comments on either one of those? Mover and second to receive and file. Lewis and Glinski, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have 8 items of correspondence. Anyone wish to support or make comment?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Number 2, the Township of Enniskillen, talking about the cannabis and some of the problems I guess there's coming up with that, and we're starting to see some of that locally too.
Certainly, that's a hot topic. Max?
Yep, and number 3 too.
Number 3 as well?
Yeah.
Anything else? So there's support for number 2 and 3, and 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 receive and file. Moved and seconded for that. Widner, Blinsky, all in favor? Carried. Adam, are you dealing with the next one on the Port Bruce? Washrooms in the murals?
I certainly can. If there's any questions from council, I can try to answer them.
Questions on the murals? Dominique?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a comment that, so thank you to staff for taking the time to circulate the mural on, it was shared on social media, but also on the bulletin board in Port Bruce, so there was plenty of opportunity to comment. We've received either no comment, which is no news is good news, and some suggestions for future murals to recognize our Indigenous history as well of previous populations that were, or peoples that were here. And so we forwarded those comments to the jury. And we're hoping that there will be other opportunities for other murals, and because we have such a rich history, we'll be able to capture other moments as well. But it sounds like there's endorsement from the community. So thank you.
Okay, mover and second, the Elgin County Museum and Archives submission on the final design for the Port Bruce Public Washroom building murals be funded by the Bushel request be approved. Jaguar and Lewis, all in favor? Carried.
Let's have something for other business if we could.
Yep, go ahead, Mark.
Are we at that point? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the weekend, I got many, many calls concerning drainage and all the flooding we had. We had a lot of water, and we keep getting a lot of water. A lot of basements were flooded, fields were overflowing, lawns were getting flooded, all kinds of things going wrong. Sure, we sympathize with all this stuff. I mean, nobody wants a wet basement. I'd like to see if we get a fact sheet that can explain municipal drainage. I don't think most people know how it works. They just figure it's a big issue, go down instantly. It doesn't work that way. It's being held back for a reason. But I think that may help. Poor Bob, I think he's been running his butt off this week trying to cover it. And I was out to see it, and there's water flowing right over the roads at line. They had to bring up the sweeper and sweep the trash off of it. And I was sent videos and pictures, so I think we could maybe do a better job of that to explain that it's not going to be instant removal. So.
Maybe we can put that out in one of the newsletters going forward, Allison. And unfortunately, all the agriculture drains are meant to handle 1 inch in 24 hours. And when you get 5 inches in half an hour, you just simply cannot handle it. And unfortunately, it washes out roads and floods basements. But we'll look into that in our future mail out to the residents and explain to them what the situation is and how to, the only way to improve it is enlarge the drain, which is very, very
Yeah.
expensive.
1 inch of rain on an acre is 24,000 gallons. And once you tell somebody that, they go, oh, didn't know that. But you got a 100-acre field beside, that's a lot of water coming down through. Thank you.
Okay, Mark. Anything else under other business? Bylaws, mover and seconder, bylaw number 21-76, being bylaw to appoint the Director of Finance Treasurer, be given a first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed. And he's starting on Monday. Widner and Lewis, all in favor? Carried. And we welcome Adam number 2. I don't know how we're going to differentiate. Mover and seconder, the council move into closed session at 8:55. Pursuant to section 239-2 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, to discuss an advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communication necessary for the purpose relating to Malahide health and safety policy. Winder and Moore, all in favor? Carried. During the closed session, council provided direction to the municipal staff regarding advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communication necessary for the purpose relating to Malahide health and safety policy. Go to bylaws, mover and seconder, bylaw number 21-78, being confirmatory bylaw, be given a first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed. Mover, Lewis, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.